So Lysandra was revealed, and the effects on her read is a 3 mana 2/3. That was when I summon a Frozen Troll, which is a 1 mana landmark, which have countdown of 8, which summons a Frostguard Troll, which is an 8 mana 8/8 with Overwhelm. Strong unit, but took a long time before they hatch. And its level of condition for Lysandra is when you summon 2+ allies that cost 8+. When I level up, create a Watcher in hand. Okay, and Watcher is a 17 mana 11/17 that costs 0 if you summon 4+ ally that costs 8+ this game, and attack obliterate the enemy deck, which basically guarantees you a win. Even if the enemy can block you, they can't draw next turn, hence you automatically win because the opponent got deck out. Now, so Lysandra will level up. It's half tough, Lysandra half tough, and your Nexus is tough. This is where I shocked the most. Your Nexus is tough. First I was like, well, that's no big deal. But then I realized after like I see some community posts on Facebook and Reddit, and then I realized, wait, this is a direct counter to Swain Leviathan. That's my thing. That's what this whole channel is all about, and Riot just nerfed me. Unbelievable. This is such a hard counter to me. Like, your Nexus is tough. And Swain Leviathan is Leviathan do 1 damage to the Nexus. And it's just like bang, bang, bang. And now when you have Nexus have tough, it's 0/0/0. Because 1 damage, like, it got tough away. So theoretically, it should not have been counted as a deal damage towards Nexus, which means Swain can't stun. And which means like usually like big units, like you play Lysandra, like you have big units and like Swain way to survive. Basically, like the whole deck is boiled down to like stun big unit on the board and not let them attack or defense, which is huge. Now, Lysandra's another effect is to create a fleeting Ice Chart in hand. With Ice Chart is a 3 mana spell. Fast spell which deal 1 to everything, which synchronizes well with her effect because if the Nexus is tough and Lysandra herself is tough, deal 1 to everything will not affect them at all. But still, Swain Leviathan combo just got hard counter. Like if I play Swain Leviathan combo against this deck, I basically need to win before Lysandra came on board and level up. At first, my thought is, oh my goodness, it's 8 mana cost card. Lysandra herself costs 3. It's gonna took forever before she level up, right? Because like 8 mana card costs a lot, but you lose a lot of tempo. And also like when you face aggro, they just burn you down. That's the thing. Lysandra loses to aggro, like hard aggro, before she levels up. But after she levels up, the aggro basically are dead already. Like that's the thing with control deck. Like aggro beats them until they get their win condition up and the aggro cannot do anything anymore. But there's this ridiculous combo that the community figured out in the first few hours, which is this. First of all, you need to play Lysandra with Thrall. First, you either summon Lysandra or Thrall first, whatever, the order doesn't matter. But when both are on board, like you have an 8 mana pillar, Ice Pillar on your hand. Now you summon that pillar, assuming that you didn't summon any 8+ mana cost card before, right? You summon the Ice Pillar, and we refuse your mana generation. You summon another 8 mana cost card. It can be anything that costs 8 mana cost, that have 8 mana in cost. And then you level up your Lysandra immediately on turn 8. Just like that. If you have Thrall Lysandra combo, you can level up on turn 8. And Lysandra doesn't have to be on board as well. She didn't have to see an ally. She didn't have to see you summon 8+ cost card. She just needs to felt the presence. And she levels up and give a Watcher in hand. And now the Watcher costs 17 and costs 0 if you summon 4+ allies that cost 8+ this game. Which means, well, you need to still summon 2 more 8 mana cost card, right? But here's the thing. You can use Revitalizing Roar. It's a 7 mana cost card that heals for that amount. Okay, you review that card and heals for that amount. And then that card costs 0 if you have 10 mana. Like you have 10 mana in the pool, if you enlighten, that card basically costs 0. Granted, you can do that on turn 10, but still, this is like the aggro beater. Okay, so you basically heal for 17. If you somehow manage to have like 1 or 2 health, right? You heal for 17. You will summon the Watcher. You basically obliterate their deck, and you win. That's how OP Lysandra can be if the luck is on their side and they are able to be used correctly. Granted, they will use to really fast aggro, as all control decks should be. But this is the nice, fun thing, niche thing that I love about card games. And Legends of Runeterra just did that. The community went crazy, and I love it. So far, this card, even though it's direct counter to my favorite deck of all time, I like it, and I wish Riot can do something like this at every expansion or something. I wish like there could be like more cards like this. Granted, there is Maokai, but Maokai is overrated. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me cry in Swain main tears. And even if Mastery System is coming out, well, Riot just put on a hard counter to me. Cry in Swain main. And I'll see you later. Please like and subscribe. See ya.